Hello everyone, this is part 3 of What If Naruto Came Back to Claim His Family's Name, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Orochimaru stood beside the cages from the rock and lightning villages on top of the now ruined outer wall of the Leaf Village. You see, soon the Leaf Village will fall, said Orochimaru as he watched his along with the rock and lighting ninjas fight the Leaf Ninjas. It seems that you're right, however I still want some of the Hyuga clan alive, said the lightning cage. Do you want anything from this village? Asked Orochimaru to the rock cage. All I want is to destroy this village and that face, said the rock cage as he pointed toward the stone face of the fourth Hokage. He killed so many of our ninjas in the last war, including my only son. Well, you can get that easily, said Orochimaru with a smile. Suddenly two huge smoke clouds filled the air in front of the sound snakes. Tsunade stood on top of a giant slug and Jiraiya stood on top of Boss Toad as both the slug and the toad crushed the snakes. Just after the Hokage and the Sannin crushed the snake, another column of smoke came up next to the slug as a huge red snake appeared next to the slug and toad. On top of that snake stood Sasuke Uchiha. Look like it is time for us to enter this fight, said the rock cage along with the other two bit their thumbs. Soon 3 more columns of smoke came up as 3 more summons appeared on the battlefield. The lightning cage stood on top of a huge yellow eagle with glowing golden eyes. The rock cage stood on top of a huge black dragon with red eyes. Finally, the traditional purple snake of the snake boss came up with Orochimaru standing on top of his head. Orochimaru, I demand 100 human lives for calling me out, said Mamba. You will be well fed, said Orochimaru. Suddenly everyone stopped as a loud howl filled the air and the wind picked up to gale force. What is going on? Yelled Tsunade as she covered her eyes to block the wind as huge flames appeared around the southern edge of the battlefield. Look like Naruto has come, said Jiraiya smiled as the flames got higher and hotter. What do you mean? Asked Sasuke as a huge figure appeared out of the flames. Naruto has let him out to play, said Jiraiya as Tsunade's and Sasuke's eyes widened. You can't mean, said Tsunade as she turned toward the flames just in time to see a fully formed nine-tailed appeared out of the flames. A chill ran down everyone's spine as the red eyes of the fox scanned the battlefield. Everyone's eyes looked in awe as the demon lord came closer. Tsunade noticed that around the nine-tailed fox feet were dozens foxes all wearing the leaf headband. Those must be the ninja foxes that Naruto raises, thought Tsunade as she watched one of the foxes LDN out of a rock ninja. What is the meaning of this? The nine-tailed foxes yelled the lightning cage as the eagle he was once started to tremble in fear. Who could have the power to control him? Asked the rock cage. Me, said a voice from behind the rock cage as he spun around to see a blonde-haired man standing before him. The cage's eyes went wide with anger and shook. You are how can you be here? Yelled the cage. You king that fox. I believe that you have me mixed up with someone else, said the man as he gave the cage a smile. No, you are the Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, yelled the cage. Wrong, I am Naruto Namikaze, Minato's son and holder of the demon fox summoning scroll, smiled Naruto as a look of fear came over all the rock ninjas' faces that heard him. They had all heard stories of the Minato Namikaze and his family Justu that could kill a dozen men in half a second. It can't be, yelled the rock cage, that monster never had a son. Sudden Naruto disappeared in a yellow flash and reappeared on top of the Kyuubi's head. I would kill you for what you said about my father, but my friend, Kyuubi has a bigger beef he has to settle with the Rock Village, said Naruto. It is time that I got revenge for what your village did to me, for what you took away from me, said the Kyuubi. You used me, now I will show no mercy, I will kill every last ninja you sent to this village. Do you know what they did to the fox to make him this angry? Asked Tsunade. I don't know, but I do know I don't want to be them right now, responded Jiraiya. Suddenly the foxes nine-tailed came flying toward the 3 enemy summons, king all 3 in seconds. We have to fall back, yelled the lightning cage as he and the other 2 landed on the ground. Agreed, said Orochimaru. I never believed that that little blonde brat was the son of the fourth Hokage. We will retreat. I don't think so, said Naruto as he stood behind them. Orochimaru's eyes went wide as Naruto aimed a kunai for his en. However, it missed and got the snake Sannin in the shoulder. He tried to run through some hand signs, but one of Naruto's other foxes came up and ate off Orochimaru's arm. Orochimaru's blood flew through the air as he tried to regain his stance. However, soon Orochimaru relieved he was surrounded by a pack of foxes all bearing their fangs. You're not going to get away from them, Orochimaru, said Naruto as pulled out a scroll and slammed it into the ground. Everyone watched as a circle of fire appeared around them. As soon as the circle was complete, the flames shot up, forming a dome of fire around Orochimaru and the pack of foxes. Have fun, said Naruto to the foxes as the sound of tearing and a high-pitched scream filled the air. Who is next? It is my turn, Kit, said the Kyuubi as one of his tails came down so fast that no one saw it until it was too late. The Kyuubi's tail had wrapped itself around the rock cage. Let me go, yelled the cage as he was pulled toward the mouth of the Kyuubi. No, no. Those were the last words of the rock cage as he was eaten by the nine-tailed fox. That same instant Naruto disappeared in a flash of golden light and espied the lightning cage in the back as he was trying to escape. A few seconds after the lightning cage fell, the fire wall around Orochimaru and the foxes came down. Soon it almost fainted at the sight. There were the remains of Orochimaru's body being chewed on by foxes. Two of the foxes were even having a tug of war using the head of Orochimaru for their toy. Naruto just killed Orochimaru and the lightning cage in less than a minute, and the fox killed the rock cage, said a stunned Tsunade as she watched the nine-tailed fox shrink down to the size of a large wolf. Kit, let's go and kill the rest, but let me have the rock ninjas. Can you take care of the others? Asked the Kyuubi. Sure, but Kyuubi, leave one or two alive so that the story gets back. They don't try this again, said Naruto. Fine, I will let some live, but they will lose arms or legs depending on how I feel, said the Kyuubi as it disappeared along with Naruto. What just happened? Asked Tsunade. It seems that the kid is going to win this battle for us, said Jiraiya as he disappeared as well. Tsunade walked down the halls of the very crowed hospital going over the reports from this long day. Naruto had killed about 1 out of 8 the invading force. However, the nine-tailed fox went into a furry king ninjas so fast that they had no idea how many he had killed. However, he had stopped when Naruto had finally fallen due to lack of chakra. He was now sleeping in the hospital. However, the fact was that bugging her is what could make the nine-tailed fox as angry at the rock ninjas as to wanting to kill them all. Also, when Naruto did go into blacked out, the fox had remained around and was now guarding Naruto and only let Sakura, herself and Jiraiya to see him. Hinata had come just after the battle was over to check on Naruto and the fox and threatened to kill her and all the other Hyugas if she came one step closer to Naruto. Slowly Tsunade opened the door to Naruto's room. Come on in, Hokage, said the fox as he sat next to Naruto's bed, but please be quiet. Tsunade walked toward the bed only to see a sight that made her smile in a day filled with so much death and pain. There sat Sakura sound asleep, one of her hands wrapped around Naruto's hand as she used a little bit of his bed as a pillow for her head. I was wondering where she went off to, said Tsunade as she noticed another sleeping form. This time on Sakura's lap, it was the little fox pup Juno. Yes, after you told Sakura to go home and get some rest, she went and grabbed Juno and came here to look after Kit, said the Kyuubi. Kyuubi, what did the rock do to make you so angry? Asked Tsunade as Fox lowered its head as a look of pain and shame covered his fox face. Rock ninjas killed my mate Hokage, said the Kyuubi softly as Tsunade's eyes widened. Aren't demons immortal? Asked the female Hokage. Most of the time that is true, however female demons when they are with child are mortal. That is why their mate only leaves them to get food, said Kyuubi sadly as Tsunade's eyes widened. The feared demon Lord Kyuubi had a family. What happened? Asked Tsunade. My mate needed some food so I went out hunting. Now I know what you'll think. I came to your village to get food for her, but no. We don't actually like to eat humans. They fight back too much and all the armor you ninjas wear in battle hurts the stomach. However, when I came back I found her and surrounded by ninjas all with leaf headbands, said the Kyuubi as a look of pure sadness appeared in the Kyuubi's eyes. That is why I attacked your village. I thought you had killed my mate and our unborn pups. We would never do something like that, said Tsunade, fighting back tears at the story. True, during Naruto's training we returned my den where the bee of the ninjas still lied. That is when we noticed that the headbands had a justu on it. The leaf headbands were in fact rock headbands. I was just so upset over the loss of my mate and our pups that I failed to see though the justu. We had just defeated Rock in a war when you attacked, so they sent you to destroy us by tricking you into thinking that we ked you, mate, said Tsunade as everything started to make sense. For years people wondered why the fox had attacked, but now she knew. Yes, they ked by mate, blamed it on you. That is why I tried to destroy you, said Yuba. That is why I will not let anything happen to Kit and his mate over there. So are you telling me that Naruto and Sakura are mates? Said Tsunade as she looked at the ninjas she considered her kids. No, but it is only a matter of time before they do become mates. That is why I have to protect them from the Hyugas, said Kyubi. The Hyugas, what do they have to do with Sakura? Asked Tsunade. The day after Kit's welcome home party, they bribed Kit with the Hokage potion. In return he would vote their way on the council. He refused them of course, but the next day Sakura's apparement blew up. Said Kyubi. Why would they try to K Sakura to get to Naruto? Asked Tsunade, unable to see how King, the woman that Naruto loves, could get him on their side. With Sakura out of the way, Hinata could take her place and get Naruto into the Hygua line of thinking, said Kyubi as Tsunade's eyes widened as the pieces fell into place. The Hyugas wanted control and they are willing to do anything to get it. I don't think Hinata could K to get Naruto, said Tsunade. No, but her clan could, and Hinata wants to be Kit's mate so much she wouldn't care what her clan does as long as she can get her Naruto-kun, said Kyubi. Then we will protect him together, said Tsunade as she went on to check Naruto's heartbeat. By the way, what was your mate's name? It's kind of funny, but my mate was also named Sakura, said Kyubi with a chuckle. That caused the Hokage to laugh a little. Okay, that is funny. Don't tell me, did your Sakura have pink fur and the same type of personality as our Sakura has? Asked a chucking Hokage. That caused the Kyubi to laugh out loud. Yeah, she did. My mate even gave me the same nickname that Sakura gave Kit, lorted the Kyubi. What is sort of lovely dobby nickname did Sakura give Naruto's anyway? Asked the Hokage as she turned to leave. Barker, of course, laughed Kyubi. Hinata walked toward a meeting with her father. It had been 2 days since the invasion and her mind still racing with the shock that Naruto had the 9-tailed fox sealed in him. If anything, the shock of that knowledge made her love him more. You wanted to see me, father, said Hinata Hyuga as she bowed toward her father who was sitting inside his Zen garden. Yes, daughter, how is your courtship of the Namikas going? Asked Hiashi. Not well, father, gulped Hinata. Why isn't it going well? We got rid of the Haruno, you should have just walked into her place. Said Hiashi calmly. Father, you didn't get rid of her, said Hinata. I got a report that said a young woman was in a coma. Father, the bomb you and the elders placed did send someone into coma, however it wasn't the Haruno. It was Ino Yamanka, daughter of Inoiki Yamanka and who is dating Sasuke Uchiha. She awoke yesterday and is now resting at home. Said Hinata as her father's eyes widened. Not good, said Hiashi. The death of someone from a lower clan could easily pass off as an accident, but the injuring of the jurist of the Yamanka clan and girlfriend of the last Uchiha, that would invoke an investigation done by the best of the Anbu. I know, father, said Hinata. We will have to destroy some evidence. Luckily Neji is in charge of evidence in the Anbu. We could use that to remove some evidence. However, I know that Neji will never betray the Hokage to cover our tracks. The elders and I will take care of that. Now what is the situation with the Namikas? Do you have a plan to get rid of her or do we have to try again? Father, that would be unwise to try to hurt Sakura Haruno now, said Hinata. Oh, said Hiashi, and why is that? Right now she is living inside the Namikaze's main house and Naruto-kun has set up many defenses around her, including a seal that blocks our Byakugan from seeing inside the house. Also, we shouldn't get rid of her, said Hinata. She is trained by the Hokage herself and her medical SKS are top notch. It would be a waste to the village to eliminate her. Okay, then what should we do? Asked Hiashi. She lost her father to the Kyubi during the first attack, hopeful that will drive her away. If not, we have to try other ways to get her away from Naruto-kun. Like showing him that our clan is in a better position to help him rebuild his clan, said Hinata. Since he is from the Namikaze's clan, he will know that he needs noble blood to rebuild his clan and not the blood of a commoner. Okay, daughter, you will take that front and the elders and I will take another. One of us shall succeed in removing the Haruno, said Hiashi as Hinata bowed before leavening her father. Hiashi sat in his garden as he felt the wind picked up and the temperature drop rapidly. Strange, it seems that we have a storm coming, thought Hiashi as he stood up to leave the garden. We don't normally get storms this big this early in the season. Later that night across town, Sakura watched as Naruto slept as the wind howled outside and the rain pounded the roof. Every once in a while a bolt of lighting would light up the room. How can he sleep through this storm? Even Juno can't sleep though this, thought Sakura, a very tired Sakura as she held the little fox in her arms. It had been only a day since Naruto was released from the hospital into Sakura's care with orders no hard training until he picked up the Genin squads tomorrow at noon. He looks so peaceful, thought Sakura as she looked at him dreamily as Naruto suddenly sat up. Sakura-chan, shouldn't you be asleep? Asked Naruto as he yawned and rubbed sleep from his eyes. He looks so cute when he does that, thought both inner and outer Sakura. Sakura, asked Naruto again. Oh sorry, what? I asked why are you up? Shouldn't you be asleep? Asked Naruto. Barker, can't you hear the storm? Sakura, I put a seal in my bedroom that keeps all natural sounds, like rain, lighting and thunder out, said Naruto as he grinned. Come on in and hear for yourself. Slowly Sakura waked toward Naruto's king-size bed and as she got closer the quieter it got. Soon she couldn't hear anything. The only hint of the storm outside was the flash of light that came through the window every once in a while. Naruto, why doesn't my room have this seal? Asked Sakura as Naruto's face fell. It does have the seal, Sakura, said Naruto, I just forgot to activate it. Barker, then let's go turn it on, said Sakura as Naruto shook his head. Sakura, I am sorry but no. You see, when you first turn the seal on it has to be quiet in order to set a baseline notice leave. If I turned it on now it would be useless, said Naruto. If you want you can sleep here and I can sleep in another room. Naruto, this is your house, I am a guest, and beside you just got out of the hospital. Besides, I have a better idea, said Sakura as she grinned at Naruto. How about we share? You stay on one side, I stay on the other. The instant she said that, Naruto blushed like crazy. Just look at him blush, yelled inner Sakura. Okay, said Naruto as he moved aside to let Sakura into the bed. Little Juno just ran down and ran to the end of the bed before curling up into a ball. This smells so good, thought Sakura as put her head onto one of Naruto's pillows, inhaling the scent coming off the pillow, Naruto's scent. I bet Naruto-kun smells better, said inner Sakura as Naruto moved her to the farthest edge of the bed before falling asleep. We will have to find out that later, thought Sakura as she too fell asleep, soon followed by Naruto. The Kyuubi could only smile as the two sleeping figures started moving closer together. Soon they were together in the middle of the bed with Juno sleeping on the far edge. Those two are going to have a world of wake-up call tomorrow, thought Kyuubi as he curled up at the foot of Naruto's bed as he watched over the two sleeping forms in it. I will not fail to protect Kit and his Sakura like I failed to protect mine. Naruto awoke first to a sight that he thought would never happen. Sakura was asleep using his chest as her pillow. One of her hands were a little bit lower on his chest and her legs were wrapped around his. However, she wasn't the only one who had moved. He had an arm under her body wrapping itself around, coming to rest on her hip. His other hand was on top of hers on his chest. Naruto didn't know how long he just lied there looking at the woman of his dreams asleep on his chest. However, his thoughts were interrupted when he saw the cloak. They only had an hour to report to the Hokage's meeting before they meet their Genin team. Sakura-chan, whispered Naruto into her ear. It is time to get up, Sakura-chan, said Naruto a little bit louder this time and moving her a little. No, moaned Sakura as she moved closer to Naruto, which made him smile even move. Sakura-chan, in an hour we have to be at the Hokage's meeting for our Genin teams, said Naruto as Sakura finally opened an eye. However, the moment she noticed that she was sleeping on top of Naruto, her eyes snapped wide open and she jumped out of bed. I am so sorry, Naruto-kun, I did mean to sleep on top of you like that, said Sakura, but I love it anyway, she added to herself as she blushed. That's okay, Sakura-chan, I liked it, said Naruto as he blushed a storm as he got out of bed. After we meet our teams, would you like to go out and get something to eat? Sakura's blush instantly became deeper. Naruto, are you asking me out on a date? Yes, said Naruto as he looked at the ground for a moment before speaking again, but I am also asking if you would like to be my girlfriend. Of course, but only you will be my boyfriend, said Sakura as they both started smiling and blushing. I hate to stop this, but now you only have 45 minutes to get to your meeting, said Kyubi as he sat next to the door along with Juno. The amount that he said that they both rushed to get ready. They both arrived at the Hokage Tower with minutes to spare, with Kyubi walking beside Naruto and Juno being carried by Sakura. All four of them entered the Hokage's office. Already Kiba, Hinata, Anko and surprising Kakashi was already there. Kakashi-sensei, what are you doing here, and on time? Asked a slightly stunned Naruto. Well, said Kakashi as he looked toward the ceiling and rubbed the back of his head. Because if he didn't start showing up for things one time and if he didn't put away that book of his, I would cut off his manhood and feed him to my snakes, said Anko as she glared at Kakashi. Isn't that right, Kakashi-kun? When Anko said, kun, everyone looked back and forth from Kakashi to her as he hung his head in defeat. Yes, Anko-chan. Wait, are you two together? Asked Sakura. Yes, we started dating last week, said Kakashi. Well, 1 week and she already has you whipped, and I, though Shakamaru was whipped fast, said Kiba. Okay, stop the small talk, said Tsunade as she pulled out a file. Even though we are working out a peace deal with Rock and Lightning, we are still currently at war. Because of that, we have having a different setup for the Genin squads than normal. We are joining your squads into 3 teams, each comprised of 2 of you and 6 of them. In this setup, the teams will be safer and they can go on higher ranked missions sooner. Understand? Yes, said everyone. Good. Then Squad 6 will be under Anko and she will be teamed up with Squad 7 under Kakashi. Squad 8 will be under Naruto and he will be teamed up with Sakura leading Squad 9. Kiba will take 10 and team up with Squad 11 under Hinata. Understood. Everyone nodded and left with the exception of Hinata. Lady Hokage, said Hinata. What is it, Hinata? I wish for my squad to be paired up with Naruto-kun and his squad, said Hinata boldly as Hokage glared at her, fighting the urge to reel off her head off her shoulders. Why? Asked the Hokage as Hinata shrugged to find an answer. Hinata, I know that you like Naruto, however he and Sakura have been teammates since they were Gen and they work great together, she didn't add, and belong together, just like you and Kiba work great together. If you want to get to know Naruto better, then do it on your own time. Yes, Lady Hokage, said Hinata as she turned to leave. Oh, one more thing, Hinata, the Kyubi told me that the Hyuga Council tried to bribe Naruto with my job. Hinata instantly froze up. I also know that he turned your council down and the very next day the woman he has always had a crush on apartment blew up. If I find out that the Hyuga Council had anything to do with it, I will have their asses, understand? Understood, Hokage, however we didn't have anything to do with that horrible accident, said Hinata as she turned back to face the Hokage, hoping that she couldn't see through her lie. That is good to hear, Hinata, said Tsunade with a smile. However, if I find out that you are lying to me right now, I will have your ass as well. I am not lying to you, Lady Hokage, said Hinata. Great, dismissed, said Tsunade as Hinata left. She is lying, said a voice coming from behind the Hokage. I know that, with the evidence you gave us and your testimony, we can take all the rats out of the Hyuga clan, said Tsunade as she turned to face the voice. Thank you again, Neji. I am sorry, but I can't testify against them, Hokage, and please don't use the evidence I have given you, said Neji as he bowed his head. Neji, I know that they have a hold you because of that bird cage seal up. We can stop them from using it on you until they are behind bears, said Tsunade. I am not worried about me, Hokage, said Neji as he looked at the ground. What did they do, Neji? Asked Tsunade, afraid of how mad she will get at how far the Hyugas went this time. They took Tenten away from me. They ordered me to destroy the evidence and to keep my mouth shut, and if I do both of those things they will let me see her after something called the vote occurs. What? Yelled Tsunade as she slammed her fist into her desk, making a huge dent in it. They took away your wife. And what is this vote? Yes, they took away Tenten and they say that she will if I talked or any of them was arrested. Also, I no idea what this vote is, only that it is the source of all the worries inside the Hyuga clan and it is the reason why they are after Naruto's vote and therefore Sakura. Those cowards, how dare they hold your wife's life as a hostage to make you do their bidding. It is not just her life, Hokage. As look of complete sadness came over Neji's face, Tenten told me right before she was taken that she is pregnant. What? Now they are threatening your unborn child too. That is that last stare they will for this. Yelled Tsunade as her fist came down again, this time completely destroying the desk. She stood up and after a moment to calm herself down she spoke again. Isn't there any of the other Hyugas that could help you find Tenten? No, they are all too afraid of the main house and I can't go to Naruto for help because Hinata is following him and Sakura around at all time looking for an opening to get Naruto alone and the clan has his house under severances. I can't get near him without them knowing. I just feel so powerless, said Neji as tears formed in his eyes. Don't worry, we will get her them back to you. You might be able to but I can, go I will get Naruto to help you out, said Tsunade as she placed a hand on the father-to-be shoulder. Thank you Hokage, said Neji. That will be all for this video, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos, goodbye.